Yo, what is up, team? It is me, Callow, and today we're going to talk about a very serious issue that needs to be discussed, hence the Jiren music playing in the background. We have had recently as a community, one thing we're going to do is I'm also going to take on the Infinite Dragon Ball history as a stage Broly with, honestly, the Kamehameha team, which has been bringing me nothing but pure bliss and joy lately. So, but yes, back to the discussion at hand. One thing we do need to discuss in great detail is the fact that people are constantly underrating the Blue Fusions and touting Jiren as this god among men. And I will not have this slander. Nano set you boys straight a little bit ago, and now it's time for me to set you straight. But one thing I will say is that I'm not here to say, oh my gosh, no, the Blue Fusions are still the best unit in the game. What I'm here to tell you is that we, as a community, need to stop ranking units. There doesn't need to be a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3, and a number 4, etc., etc., etc. We need to go to a tier system, right? As a community, we need to acknowledge that they are in tiers, and I say this for a few reasons, right? One of which being that these units are simply designed differently for different events. At the time when the game started, right? At the time when the game actually started, one thing that we did as a community, well, not necessarily one thing that we did as a community, but one thing that kind of came about was that, I guess the ranking system started, but that was mainly because there were really only, like, when you think about it, as the game started, there were only Dokkan events, and yes, I'm going to butcher this turn, don't mind me, it's fine. There were really only Dokkan events, and eventually Super Battle Road dropped, right? So there was really only one meta, which was, you know, I guess you could say the meta even switched then, because it was just who does the most damage, and then once the release of Super Battle Road came out, it was, okay, who allows you to survive Super Battle Road, right? And so that was like what the meta shifted to at that point. Then what we ended up with was, oh no, this will work. Then what we ended up with was the release of the Legendary Goku event, which brought a whole nother meta at that point. It essentially introduced a situation where now it was, okay, now like the shit became, what are the stacking units? What units can do crazy amount of damage in long events? And then all of a sudden, you know, like obviously category Super Battle Road started to, you know, make its way into the picture, as well as, you know, like now Extreme Super Battle Road. But they also continue to introduce stuff like Infinite Dragon Ball history. So now there's really two metas that are shaping at the exact same time. There are continually being more difficult events, like difficult long events, and more difficult short-term events. And there are units that are specifically designed for, you know, each, right? So, like, comparing a unit that's specifically designed for a long event versus a short event, you're really not comparing the same thing, right? Like, obviously, like, we do have units like, for example, UI Goku, Jiren, the Blue Fusions, that are really exceptional in both, but they're also, like, they have their place, right? Like, each one excels in different spots. For example, hold on. No, this will work. For example, Jiren is going to look superior to the Blue Fusions in Super Battle Road. And really, it's mainly category Super Battle Road, because let's be realistic here. Jiren looks like a god, which is what I said in the very first video when I started looking at him. I was like, I think he's a very, very strong unit. I think you're going to be able to set him up in a situation where he looks like the best unit in the game, because they made Topo. And sure enough, with Topo next to him, he magically jumps from, like, you know, 4 million, 3 million, like upper 3 million, lower 4 million attack stats, to suddenly he's like popping off at like, oh, I just realized the mistake I've made. Oh well, I forgot to bring senzu beans here. That's okay. We shouldn't need them. Dang, that's a lot of dodges I'm gonna miss out on. That's okay. Yeah, so it's like, where was my train of thought? Yeah, so it's basically like, he jumps from 3 to 4 million to all of a sudden 6 million, right? It's pretty crazy. Like, yeah, of course he looks that good. Like, he's literally leading a team that surrounds him with support type units. Like, most of the time you don't run support type units with the Blue Fusions, but I'm actually going to do a video showcasing my Rainbow Gogeta that is in fact going to demonstrate that he can pop off turn 1 and kind of, like, I actually think I've had him surpass turn 1 Jiren numbers. Now, mind you, Jiren is super effective against all types, and I'm not going to sit there and defend that, I'm not going to sit there and try to argue that, you know, the Blue Fusions have, oh, this is perfect, that the Blue Fusions have superior defense turn 1, because that's just not true. Like, I cannot make that argument because that would be silly. Jiren's defense at 200k turn 1 with support, I should say with support. Without support, he's in a more reasonable area, but he's still 160 something, like 160, 180 some K. Rainbowed, which is like pretty wild. He still looks great, but I will say he still requires items in Extreme Super Battle Road. So I would still be afraid having him around, even if he was the only one taking the attacks. Like, because 2 or 3 supers, you can still die. But that's the same with every unit in Extreme Super Battle Road. But so it's like, I don't know. I guess the biggest thing that I've been trying to say is that, how are we doing this? I know I want to get those STR orbs, but that's just not going to happen, so we're going to do it this way. The biggest thing that I want to say is we need to kind of set up that, you know, Jiren, UI Goku, Blue Fusions, they're all in that top tier, right? Like, they're all looking really, really, really good. Like, they're just all phenomenal. And I think they're so close in terms of performance in a lot of scenarios that they should all be in the top tier. Like, Jiren's obviously better in Super Battle Road, but if any one of you even dare to tell me that he is superior in long events, you're crazy. Like, the Blue Fusions are GOAT in long events. And I can tell you that for multiple reasons, right? One, let me take a look at this right here. Let's let Gogeta build a little bit here. One of which being the fact that we have, one of which being the fact that obviously, like, the Blue Fusions just eventually they just, like, the level of output they can achieve in long events is, like, matched by no one. It's literally untouchable. And it's only going to get better with the introduction to the new Link system, right? Like, it's just that kind of crazy. Like, it's insane. It really is. But the second reason being, Jiren destroys the early phases so quickly of events that you really, like, units that are designed for this that are meant to build up over time, they don't get to, like, oh no, he really did just lock me in there. Well, that's a shame. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. LR Gohan's gonna be fine here. Should we, I mean, no, let's keep that there. Yeah, it's what they do, honestly. Like, they just really, it's like units that burn through, like, long events quickly are honestly a detriment to you. Because, like, your other units then become, alright, I'm terrible at this right now. Your other units just become inevitably worse around them. And that can cause you to lose. So it's like there's multiple facets that, like, honestly make the Blue Fusions better. One, they start slower, which is great because you get more time to build up. Like, that's never a bad thing. You can get your rotation set, all that stuff, yada, 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 right? Two, their output, like, in a long event is that no one can touch them. Like, you just can't. I don't know how else to say. I can explain it further if people need me to, but, like, it's just they're just that crazy. They are just simply that good. Yeah, man. But yeah, it's just, yeah, there's just, I guess the short end of it is there are two there are really just multiple metas in the game right now. So to make a like definitive, this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3 list, just doesn't make any sense anymore, right? Like the game has evolved. That setup, please don't lock them. Awesome. It just really, yeah. The game has just moved beyond that. All right, this is not the time yet. I think now that I've made that point, I feel like we're just going to kind of cruise through the rest of this event, clear it up, and then wrap up. I can talk about the blue features all day, and I can talk about this Kamehameha team all day. It's so crazy good. And I think one of the biggest reasons being the leader, is that AGL Gohan is the leader of this team. And he's so self-sufficient and so tanky that you don't mind. He can just chill in the back. Like, you can have a double leader of him, and he, like, doesn't stop. He doesn't slow you down at all. I think the only unit that slows you down on this team right now is the fact that I'm running LR Cell, which I don't have to run. But I just do it so that, like, occasionally AGL LR Gohan can transform. And that's just fun to do. Like, you know? Like this. Alright, are any of these guys above? I won't do that. Not yet. Maybe on the next round here. Like this. Like, we can get transformations because LR Cell is on the team. And I love the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's super attack animations. He's still, man, he's such a good unit. What, it's like 3-point-some million? Definitely, just do not sleep on this Gohan. 3.6 million is nothing to sneeze at. And then, obviously, UI Goku popping off with another 4 million attack stat. His dodges are nuts, man. I just love it. I just love it, man. And hopefully, we'll actually be able to show off maybe a little bit later in the event. I think I will try to let Gogeta shine against Broly in terms of just raw damage output. How are we looking here? They might be getting close to fully built up right now. No, I think Gogeta needs to build up a little more. So we're going to go ahead and let Gogeta build up a little bit here. And then, yeah, so, like, once we get to, like, the Broly stage, I think I'm going to let Gogeta finally, like, show off what he's truly capable of. If he's even fully built up. Like, 4.2 does not seem like his max. I'm actually pretty confident that it's not his max. So, like, yeah, I don't know what else I can say about these guys. Yeah, their attack stats keep going up. So they still aren't even built up yet, fully built up. They just annihilate these events. But fortunately, we have, what, 2 more stages left? So they're going to still get to pop off here. All right, what are we working with here? Gohan still kind of... It's like you almost have to take the Gohan transformations every chance you get, because if you don't, you just don't get to see them. You just don't get to see him transform. It's so rare. Like, with how good the team is that he's on. Oh, no dodge. But is UI Goku fully built up yet? He probably is. So he's probably actually going to tank this. Not too bad. Yeah, 160k? That's not that bad. Yeah, then still just popping off at 4 million. I can't wait to see where this UI Goku goes. I think that's the beautiful part, is that, like, we haven't seen the Blue Fusion ceiling yet. And they scale so incredibly well with buffs. The same with UI Goku. Like, with Jiren, we're pretty much seeing him at a ceiling. Like, he has a perfect, like, partner that's offering support, as well as, like, maxing out majority, if not all of his links. The Blue Fusions aren't getting all their links hit here. Right, hold up. Am I going to let this go this way? I think so. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Like, UI Goku, the Blue Fusions, they're only going to get better. Like, they're going to introduce... Oh, I don't know. The Blue Fusions, they're just going to get better because pairing them next to each other with the link level, like the level up system, is going to make their rotation look unfreaking believable. But I mean, they could introduce another standalone Blue Gogeta that's going to make these Blue Fusions look better. They could release another. Honestly, the 350 million download possibility of a Super Vegito really could be this LR Blue Vegito's best linking partner. Because Blue Vegito, as I found out a little later, he doesn't get, he does not get Warrior Gods. So if you have a Super Saiyan Link with him, he's good. Like, he's good to go. Yeah, I think whatever this 350 million download Super Vegito could potentially, which we're not going to confirm it, but it's very likely, he could be, if he has Over in a Flash and Fused Fighter, he could be this, like, LR Vegito Blue's best buddy. And not even by just a little bit, by, like, a very large margin. This is actually going to be UI Goku looking very, very strong here. Like, very, very strong. There's a good chance that we're going to drop this Broly into... Ooh, that's scary. Ooh, that's going to hurt a lot. That's going to hurt a lot. Are we going to get a Cell transformation, or are we going to die? Hold up. Should I have item there? Actually, that's perfect, because I had made, like... I pretty much made most of my points about the tier list. Wow. You got Goku. Got a little slap. I probably shouldn't have brought God Goku in the grand scheme of things. Should have probably bought Physical Vegeta Blue. He would have done better there. I would have thrown UI Goku in the front, as I should have. Oh well. We made our point. Like I said, we just need to get a tier list. These units are all, like, right up there. Oh, I totally forgot about the Blue Rose. The Blue Rose should be in that top tier, too, in my opinion. They're all looking so incredible right now. That, like, these are just units that really, really just need to shine. Really just need their space, right? Like, they have so much they can offer, and I think the game is past the point of ranking units 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. Until we get a unit that clearly needs to be in a separate tier, I'm really not just going to be throwing... I'm not going to throw around the, like, best unit in the game. I don't expect to see a unit like that until year 6, when we see, most likely, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. I have a feeling that him and this Evolution Blue Vegeta, that will most likely drop for year 6. Once again, educated guess. I think they will probably introduce a whole nother level, like a whole nother tier. I mean, there's a chance that the 350 million downloads could introduce a whole other tier. We don't know. Super Vegetos always have that potential to just be like unreasonably powerful. But I don't know. Time will tell. We will see. Once again, thank you guys so much for liking the video. Yeah, thank you so much for liking the video if you did. Please hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching the video. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. If we could get 5 to 10. That'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that so much. If you do have any thoughts about the tier system, or I guess anything that happened, please leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And as always, I hope you're getting used to seeing this shirt, because we're doing some bulk recording. So you're gonna see this a lot, and this hairstyle. So I'll just leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.